So let's have our first proper look at my TRF502X. Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again, thank you for stopping by. So yeah, this is my TRF502X. Love this car, love it, and it's the only other TRF car that I wanted in my collection. Not so much wanted, would have liked, and my good friend Keith in the US made it happen by sending me this one. Again, just incredible. And this car's a little bit special because it's been used for what it was made for. It's been raced at a decent level, which we'll go into later. But what a thing, what a thing. So if you don't know what's special about the 502X is, the one thing that's special, it's shaft driven. So all the other TRF four-wheel drive buggies that Tamiya have done were belt driven. So the rough history of it, in 2006 came the TRF501, that was in 2006, four-wheel drive belt driven. Shortly after that came the World edition of that car, which is just a slightly different variant of it. 2009 came the TRF511, again belt driven. And then in 2010 came the 502X, which went to shaft. And then 4 years after that, in 2014, became the last ever TRF four-wheel drive competition buggy, which was the 503. And they went back to belt, funny enough, which is interesting. So yeah, this is the only shaft-driven one. It's funny, when I think of TRF, because of so many touring car variations, you kind of think there's quite a lot of buggies, four-wheel drive and two-wheel drive, but there's actually not. There's 4 of each. I'm not counting the 501 World's Edition, because that's just a variant. So yeah, there's only 4 four-wheel drive and 4 two-wheel drive buggies ever done by Tamiya. It's pretty insane, isn't it? So I think a lot of you, like me, are really hoping to see a new two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive TRF buggy in the future. We did the last two-wheel drive car in 2019, 201 XMW, I think it was. So, you know, it wasn't that long ago. Anyway, yeah, before we get into this, when I did the unboxing, or I got surprised that Keith had sent me this, I put a few ads on the groups just saying, anyone know whose car this was or any history behind it? Anyway, we got, thanks to my good friend Martin Harrell, who did some digging for me, we got some information. Anyway, he dug up these 2 photographs of the car actually in action, which is it's just mega cool. And that was at the 2012 Opel International Race Meeting, which is just awesome. And I've sort of zoomed in on that picture with all the cars, and you can see there's other. It's up against other TRFs, and there's a Schumacher in there, and there's something else. Just really cool. So yeah, apparently, and another shout out to my friend Lee, who messaged me a lot, he still races his 502X on grass back in the UK now, and he'll continue doing so until the parts run out, because obviously parts are the biggest issue. But yeah, he does really well with it on grass apparently, which is just awesome. So yes, what a thing. So let's whiz the camera over and we'll have a close-up and just have a quick look at what this is. Right, so the first thing I did some work on the bodywork. So obviously I give it a really good clean up. I have put some internal spacers in the shocks because it was sat too high for the shelf. But yeah, it had some kind of racing decals on it, which a lot of people would have left on, and I fully understand that because it looked great. But I had an idea, by adding some decals I could kind of finish it off, because it had a lot of white patches showing on it. So obviously it's got this absolutely awesome sort of Union Jack painted on the top of it, and then going over onto the wing. So what I did was, as I say, I pulled the other stickers off, and I've added the TRF decals on just to fill it up. And I honestly think that looks superb. Again, with a spoiler, a Tamiya on the main one, and the TRF VG, and anyway, I'll show you the other stuff. But I also, because this bit was showing, I had some Tamiya Starburst decals left over, which have these obviously red and blue in a Tamiya colour, and I thought the red and the blue was very similar to how this had been painted. So I just stuck one on and I thought, yeah, that kind of looks like it's meant to be there. And then obviously on that side I went red, so I've got red and blue in the order of Tamiya. So I really like what I've done with that. I think that works well. Just to give you a little bit of a close-up. So I love that, and I love that chrome effect as well. And for me, yeah, those stars either side, as you can see, we've got blue and a red either side. Just fills it up, doesn't it? Put those little Tamiya ones there as well. Yeah, I'm over the moon with that. I think that works. Well, I think it just works. Right then, let's get into the chassis. And look at that thing. How nice is that? Full carbon, plenty of blue alloy bling on it. I will say, it's funny, there's a lot less bling on this car than the TRF501 and the 511 has. The bulkheads are all in the alloy, the blue alloy, so it does stand out, and also the 503. But where this isn't, but you do have, I suppose, the added bonus of the anodized blue drive shafts and things like that. So it's not quite as blingy looking as the other three variants of the race car. But nevertheless, it does look sexy. So as you can see, the position and everything, so the motor's right up here at the front, which is quite odd. I don't think there's any modern day cars running that kind of configuration. The 502, I believe, was the first car to come ready for the saddle pack LiPo batteries. The 501 and the 511 were saddle pack, but they were for the NIM cells, you know, nickel metal hydride batteries. So yeah, this was LiPo, what is it? Oh my god, I've had a brain fart. It's LiPo, isn't it? Sorry. So these were LiPo compatible, which was cool. Right, sorry the camera, I'm actually holding it at the moment. So obviously we've got your motor goes in here, pinion to this big spur gear. Now this is actually a slipper clutch, which is adjustable, let me see, down here. Which is mega cool. That's your battery configuration. So full carbon. This was the last car to come with the small bore aeration shocks. The 503 came with the big bores. What else is there? So interestingly, not long after they brought this 502X out, Tamiya launched an upgrade package for it. I'll put a picture up of that. So that was the blue anodized prop shafts, front and back, that you got. You got different carbon upper decks for some reason, and you got the front alloy braces. Now, funny enough, I have the alloy braces. That's one pair, and these are for, because the Tamiya DB02 Leonis was kind of the poor man's 502, not as clear cut as that, but similarities. Now this was a hop up for the 502, and it goes here. It's difficult to see actually. That's probably, you can see there. So it's got it's got that little bit of carbon at the front, which the tie rod bolts onto, and then it's got those two brackets. Well, the hop up is all done in one piece. Now, I can't, as I say, you did get that on the upgrade set, and I do have them, and I could use the two pairs I've got and put them on this just to bling it up. But then I'm thinking, do I really want to bling it up? That's how the car was supposed to be. Now, I guess it was for strength purposes they went to that hop up, I don't know. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it standard. And that's saying something for me, because I love the blue alloy, and that would be so easy just to liven it up at the front and back. But no, I think we're going to leave this untouched. I did have a good chat with Lee, and he was giving me all the details of the car, and I think from memory he was saying that this steering has been improved on this car from the standard. Obviously those prop shafts are not standard. I'm not too sure if the cups are standard. I think they might be the upgraded part. But apart from that, I think it's pretty standard. I could still buy the upgrade pack today, but I think it's a lot of money. And to be honest, all I'd be getting for my money, I'd put a pair of those on front and back, and I'd have two different top deck carbon decks. Again, I don't think that's a biggie, to be honest, for me. Yeah, love this thing, really do, and it's so. Steering's not. There's no servo in it, but it is so free. The drivetrain is incredible. Funny thing is, if you think about it as well, you know, this, what is this? This is 2010, and we're in 2022, obviously. This has kind of got the four-wheel drive race buggy configuration that they're using today. Not the motor position and what have you. Obviously, we're using stubby, shorty lipos down one side and motors towards the middle of the back now. But the actual drive chain, that's what the most manufacturers use on the racetrack now, which I find quite interesting because obviously Tamiya have done this. A lot of people say they copied from other brands, but I'm pretty sure they'll all do that. But they went to this, and then for some reason, in 2014, they went belt drive. Yeah, just I just find that kind of thing really interesting. So I hope you agree, a really cool car for my museum. I know a lot of people get annoyed with people who don't run these cars. Suck it up and live with it. That's what I say. We can do what we want with our cars. I'm not going into a rant, but you get some really weird comments on social media. Cars come to me to be retired and go into my museum and get pampered. That's what happens. It's not a bad thing. This car doesn't have to run. Although I would like it to run, gotta be honest. Sorry, I've got an itchy nose. Yeah, just a cool piece of history. And I certainly don't want to collect any more. I mean, people are going, why did you get 501? Why did you get 511? No interest in. Okay, here we go. I always do this. I would possibly get the 501 if I found a good condition one at a reasonable price, which, I mean, that's just a lot of joke in itself. The prices are ridiculous. But I would get the 501 mainly because it's the first one they did, but it's got a different body. And it's got a very unique shell to it, which is, it's not everyone's taste, but it's certainly, if I got one, it would go in the collection and it would look a little bit different. Whereas the 511 has this shell on it, and obviously the 502 and the 503 use this shell as well. So I've got a mint, brand new built 503 downstairs, but it is in full TRF colours, so it stands out. But I wouldn't want another one in there. And I've also done this body set on my TTO2B as well. Anyway, so possibly in the future a 501 or 501 WE Wales Edition. Who knows? But yeah, just over the moon. So Keith, if you're watching again, massive thank you, my friend. This is just truly a fantastic car to have in the collection. Absolutely stoked to have it. And the paint job and everything is just also, it's just also original and untouched from when it was racing around. Anyway, I'll shut up. So, as always, my friends, thanks so much for watching. It really is massively appreciated. If you are new to this channel and this is the first video you've come across, why don't you give this video a thumbs up? If you do that, go hit that subscribe button. And if you do those two things, go hit the notification bell buzzer for our weekly videos. That'd be awesome. And as always, my friends, happy arsing.